Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of my PS4 tutorial series. So, last time we went to the moon and orbited it. Today we're gonna ferry two tourists safely to the destinations. The things I did. I accepted two contracts to already send two tourists, which is what we're going to be doing today. You can see there's two more tourist ones, but they're to the moon. Well, one is to the moon and back to Carbon, and I'm definitely not sending a tourist to the moon. Too much fuel. Yeah, you can see these are my two Kerbal contracts to send two Kerbals to space. Alright, time to go to the VAB, Vehicle Assembly Building. And this is the ship I built last episode, but we're gonna open craft and get I'm pretty sure the Mark 4, maybe the Mark 5. No, it's the Mark 4. Yeah, I'm gonna get the Mark 4 in a minute. Right, and now we're gonna modify it, take off all the science modules and those batteries because we can get better ones, and replace it with some people carriers, also known as crew cabins. But we're gonna move that down out of the way, place that there, place that at the bottom, place that underneath, remove Jeb. Good. In a second I'll add Valentina Cameron. Remove the science experiments, because there's no point in carrying the extra weight from them. Gonna place two extra parachutes because this is quite a lot heavier. That could mean that my couples could die if I only use one parachute, and that will make me lose a bunch of money and a bunch of reputation, which is not useful. Move this up there so it's gonna face upwards. Check my staging is alright. That doesn't look right, so move that down there. Replace these with a bit more powerful solid rocket boosters, the hammer rather than the flea. I've got to place some aerodynamic nose cones on, and I think we've got one more thing to add, but let's just call this the Mark 4T1. And I think that we might be done. Actually, one more thing. Gonna have a bit of electricity production, so my cables have electricity, because you don't want them to not have electricity, because that will be bad. Gonna move my probe core out of the way to place this battery, and moving the parachutes to the top of the rocket, so I don't flip over when landing. And I think we've got one more thing to add after doing a bit of crossfading. This is when I did a test, and this was not enough to get my Kerbals to orbit, so you just have to add one more fuel tank and you'll be good to go to space with 3 Kerbals. Not just 1, not just 2, but 3. You can colour all these how you like. I tend to go all white except for the bottom one, which is black and white. Now we are done building the rocket. Could check all the cables right and save and launch. And now we're ready to launch. We'll do all of our pre-launch checks and set my thrust to max so we don't when we deploy our liquid fuel we'll have good thrust. And now I've turned a bit early, so try not to do that. It's quite inefficient to do that. I just did this on accident, and want to get 45 degrees on the nav ball at 10 kilometers, which I was, but I was also turned a bit too fast early on. Now we're just cruising to space until we have to detach our first stage. You can see that plasma forming over the rocket, hot. And now we've deployed our first stage. We've got our second stage ready and burning all the way to space. This will take quite a while, as we're only travelling at 1.4 meters, 1,500 meters per second. But we'll get to space eventually. Our apparatus is getting quite high, and you can see the parachute is starting to heat up, so you might want to slow down a bit if it gets a bit too hot. It's like slow down your engine. I've went a bit high there. I've had my apparatus at 140 kilometers up. I'm pretty sure a solar panel just exploded there, but that's fine. We've got 2 other solar panels. It's not like we're gonna run out of solar panels or anything. Now we're just cruising to our apparatus so we can start the burn that I'm going to be planning right now, and face in the right direction, and time warp to the burn. See the sunrise, quite nice in this game, especially on other planets, but we'll get there in a later video. Let's make Valentina go for a joyride outside the spacecraft, looking directly at the sun. Probably is quite healthy. And put her back on and board, and then face in the other direction, retrograde, and just burn until my periapsis is at 30 kilometers about, and when we're starting to get when we're starting to get close to the atmosphere, I'll detach and face retrograde so we can start to fall in the right direction. Do not turn off SAS. This craft requires SAS for it to not flip, because otherwise, like, you'll be heading face. You'll have your heat shield at the back rather than at the front of your rocket, and you won't be protected by the heat from the heat. I've got my parachutes auto deployed as well, so that they can deploy as soon as possible, just in case we're landing near the mountains. Spoiler alert, we're not. Just this craft takes quite a while to slow down because its mass is quite high, and mass and force can affect acceleration or deceleration depending on how you're going. And my drogue chutes have just deployed. Those will slow me down a bit earlier. Now we've got our big parachutes deployed, and we're just cruising down back to the cabin. Why did I say that? And drogue chutes are fully deployed. Oh, that's the second stage. Fully, like, just fully body slamming into the ground. 4 times time warp. This will take quite a bit because we're 600 kilometers up and going only 6 meters per second. And touchdown should be in our grasps very, very soon. You can see all those Kerbals in the bottom right just looking around to see when they're going to land. One of them will have a broken back, one of them will have a broken front. Well, don't know what front, because they're just slammed about 10 G's into the ground forward. Just recovered the vessel and going back to the Kerbal Space Center. We can see if there's anything else we can get. We got no signs from that, but that's to be expected. Got 100,000 funds to spend on our next rocket, and this is the end of the 8th episode of my tutorial series. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.